Hey everybody, Tuesday at the NFL Combine is history. One of the big stories coming out of Indianapolis was, well, what Raheem Morris, the Falcons head coach, said about Michael Penix. And this is what he said, first of all, to put it in a... There is the great coach, Mr. Morris, and this is what he said.
Here, we talked about looking for that guy, and we believe we found him. And I got so much confidence in Michael Penix leading us into the future, and I believe our whole building does, and I believe our fan base does, and I believe our owner does, that we are really excited about that young man. Definitely disappointed what happened and how we ended last season, but we got a lot of really good things, a lot of positive thoughts for us moving forward, and how we want to go out here and try to win ultimately. Mike, what's going on, man? Here.
So that's it. Michael Penix is cemented as, the man. The man. But where does that leave Kirk Cousins? Well, it was announced that the Falcons intend to pick up the $10 million that they're owed and keep him on as the backup. But it's not a situation where Kirk Cousins, who was a starter last year, should expect to start at all. The idea basically is that Kirk is there as a experienced, knowledged, supportive backup quarterback to the young, up-and-coming rookie phenom that is Michael Penix, going into his second year. Now, they said that the idea was that Cousins was sit on the bench, and a number of people thought that prior to that last year, if you remember, Penix would sit on the bench and be there for 2 years. But this man, this guy, me, told you all who paid any attention, if you remember, that Michael Penix was going to start for the Falcons by mid-season. I said that. Okay, I was off by 4 games? But that's what happened. And the reason it happened, it was revealed that while Michael Penix was on the bench, Kirk Cousins was playing injured. It was an injury the Falcons knew nothing about. Both Terry Fontenot, the Falcons GM, and head coach Raheem Morris said at the Combine they were not aware of Kirk Cousins' injury. Now they are. So they're giving him time to heal up and be better next year. But he's not going to get in a situation where he is competing for the starting job with Michael Penix. No. It's been flipped. So the other question is, where does that leave the Cleveland Browns and media types like Tony Grossi, who were begging for Kirk Cousins to come in and be the savior for that team? Well, it leaves them with, in my opinion, Jameis Winston. Again, I'll say this. Jameis Winston was the best quarterback on the squad for the Cleveland Browns last season. He was responsible for 2 of their 3 wins. And when you talk to me about the interceptions, I say to you that he was badly coached by Ken Dorsey. You heard me call repeatedly for Ken Dorsey to be fired. And that is eventually what happened. Why should it have happened? Because Ken Dorsey was not paying attention to the synchronization of footwork with a passing game. He was not developing a ball control passing offense. He started off trying to make Jameis Winston this flashy 1970s gunslinger type guy. No play action fakes worth paying attention to. And when they did, on the rare occasion the Browns ran a play action with Dorsey and Winston, it was the same crossbuck, a predictable crossbuck out of a 3-by-1 formation. And it's either the quarterback in the shotgun and the running back either to the left or the right, moving across the formation, quarterbacks faking and then passing. That was the only kind. We didn't see an I formation, for example. We didn't see a pistol. We didn't see a power I. I can go on and on and on about the formations the Browns didn't run with Ken Dorsey as offensive coordinator. It was an absolute mess. And for those who said, hey, look, it was Winston's fault, the pick sixes, remember the pick six that Jameis threw against the Broncos? And when they came back, the sideline pass? Well, guess what? They ran the same play, with Bailey Zappi in as quarterback. Bailey Zappi in as a quarterback against the Dolphins. And guess what happened? Pick six again. Why? Because that play is such that it literally lures the defensive back to make the interception because of the way it's designed. And I immediately pointed that out in a video here at Zenny62 on YouTube channel. So now the Browns are in a situation where they have to say, okay, who next? A number of people believe that they're going to go after Shedeur Sanders and with a number 2 pick. I happen to believe they're not going to do that because they have the Myles Garrett situation. I believe that what they're going to do is get either Mason Graham at defensive tackle, or maybe if it's switched Cam Ward, but even then I believe they're more prone to bring in Mason Graham in that position or Travis Hunter, because they need to send a message to Myles Garrett that they're absolutely serious about building up their defense around Garrett. You don't build up your defense around Myles Garrett by drafting a quarterback number 1. You don't do that. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So how about Mason Graham at defensive tackle next to Garrett? In a very dangerous combination. Anyway, the door is open for the Browns to simply re-sign Jameis Winston. I think Jameis deserves a second chance with a better designed offense with Tommy Rees as the offensive coordinator, someone that Jameis Winston is now familiar with. More from the Combine very soon. Subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube and bookmark NFL News by Zenny62.com.